My name is Tina Isoa. I'm a YouTuber based in Owerri, Nigeria. So if and join this amazing family, okay? Thank you so much, guys. I decided that let me come and have a quick one with you guys. I don't think as a nutritionist that this year's celebration will just come and go without me coming live here to put out a content, even if it is just for 1 minute. So this year, in case if you don't know, I'm a public health nutritionist. I've had over 10 years experience working in the primary health care. I'm a trained UNICEF breastfeeding coordinator in my district, and on that ground I'm speaking both professionally and as an experienced more beautiful kids of beautiful kids. So today 7th of August 2021, and which some of us may know that globally breastfeeding is celebrated every 1st of August to the 7th of August rather. So and this year's world celebration breastfeeding week we end today. I say no matter how busy it's been, I'm definitely coming to have one video out here to remind 1 or 2 persons that yes, we are still celebrating breastfeeding week. For the government of the world to decide that breastfeeding is something to be celebrated not just 1 day, for 7 good days we have to be celebrating breastfeeding. This is the time in those days when the government of Nigeria knew what they were doing. This is a period that something that we celebrate and encourage mothers towards breastfeeding properly. Not these days. We are no longer seeing celebrations. In fact, the last celebration we had in Imo State was 2 years ago when my girls were 9 months old, and they took the first position, and they are still the Imo State babies of the year since they have not handed over to any other person. So I want to share with you guys that this year's World Breastfeeding Week theme, because every year there is theme accompanying the celebration, is protect breastfeeding. Protect breastfeeding, a shared responsibility. A shared responsibility in the sense that as a mother you have a responsibility. As the government, they have the responsibility to support breastfeeding. As a father, you have a responsibility to support breastfeeding. As a teenager in the society, you have a responsibility. Share today. Most of us do not know that this thing is actually a celebration that goes on globally, and I say let me come and talk about it. There are a lot of benefits attributed to breastfeeding, and when we talk about breastfeeding, the benefits, the roles the government have to do, my brothers and sisters, the government have a lot of things to do. The government can provide a rest home or a special room. Like, as much as we're encouraging exclusive breastfeeding, tell me how a banker, as a virtuous woman who goes out to fend for the family, tell me how she will do exclusive breastfeeding if for any reason she's not doing expression of breast milk easily, she's not finding it easy to have a good volume that will be enough for the baby before she returns back home. Then tell me how she can be able to exclusively breastfeed her baby without the government sanctioning the parastatals to provide a crèche home, a crèche room, for just like you have cloak rooms, a crèche room for where mothers can babies and move. If our government decides to do something of that nature, or even in the ministry, government parastatals, there is nothing like a crèche room or crèche home whereby staff can come to work with their babies, with their nanny or whoever they know they leave their babies at home with. When they are going out, they can come with them and put them there, and it will go a long way helping the society. Once in a while, you know how to schedule them to go and attend to the baby. We are preaching a breastfeeding demand, but we are not seeing reason to encourage the breastfeeding. Hence, that's why the government have a lot of role to play towards encouraging mothers to breastfeed, either exclusively or even short term. As much as we know that the UNICEF have encouraged us, they told us to exclusively breastfeed our babies for the first 6 months of life, then continue breastfeeding for 2 years. Yes, you heard me. We are expected to breastfeed till 2 years. It is your personal decision to take, but this is what UNICEF trained me and told me to go ye into the world and tell women that they should breastfeed exclusively for 6 months, then continue breastfeeding for 2 years. So I have to say it, the role of government to even sanction or regulate the production of artificial formulas will go a long way helping. We know that there's some situation that will warrant a woman, if assuming the woman put to bed and if maternal mortality sets in, she couldn't make it live, so the baby has to. So that is the reason why they should produce it. But the production and the sale of those artificial formulas. The role of parents, like fathers, you can support your wife towards making sure that she's emotionally satisfied, she's emotionally ready to breastfeed, because the hormones that are responsible for the production of breast milk, they know the joke. As long as the woman is angry, they dry up. If you are a woman, you're watching this and you have experienced this, please share in the comment section so that others will know that what I'm saying is truth. Once a woman is emotionally stressed, definitely the production of breast milk disappears. The hormones responsible for the production of breast milk are so sensitive that they want to be in a happy environment. They want to be happy for them to produce breast milk. And there are a lot of benefits attributed to this breastfeeding, and hence we are preaching about it. I said this year's World Breastfeeding Week, which is ending today, will not just come and go without me coming here to mention it. Then how am I a nutritionist? How am I preaching it out there, telling people to breastfeed their babies, and I will not tell my family on YouTube that World Breastfeeding Week is here? He said, protect breastfeeding, shared responsibility. I've just finished saying the responsibility of the government, what the government need to do to encourage breastfeeding in the society, as we know that the benefits of breastfeeding cannot be overemphasized. So we need people to tell us, to make us be in the state of breastfeeding our babies, so that the society will be a better place. The role of the father, like I said earlier, you need to make sure that your wife is emotionally ready, emotionally stable to breastfeed, either exclusively or beyond. Same as even when you finish breastfeeding at 6 months, when you finish exclusively breastfeeding your baby at 6 months, you can as well support your wife. Maybe she's bathing, the baby is crying. As the father, you can carry your baby, you can feed on the baby either the complementary food, because it's expected that if you exclusively breastfeed your baby, after 6 months of life you go into complementary feeding, which is basically the foods in the house, every food in the house. So if you as a father, your baby is above 6 months of age and your wife is busy in the kitchen, your baby is crying, you don't say, I'm not the one with the breast, so I'm not going to touch the baby. Madam, come and carry your baby. No, you have a responsibility to support your wife towards taking care of the baby, bathing the baby, whatever you are comfortable doing. Responsibility. If you are a woman, you are expressing, sometimes we have a situation whereby the woman is going to work and the man is in the house. So if she's expressing breast milk, it is equally a responsibility of yours to help to make sure that your baby feeds on the breast milk. Because I know I am a mother of 3 kids, and when I was breastfeeding my kids, I used to express breast milk. I will tell you that my husband never handled it for once, probably because I was emotionally stable to handle it. Even when we're in the church, I go to church with breast milk and feed my baby on. I was emotionally ready to do all that. But what if I am not available? I go to work. Can you say that as a man, you are in the house, your baby is crying, because I'm the man, I will not help to feed on my baby, to help my baby feed? No, that is why this year's team is saying a shared responsibility. You have the responsibility of the woman understanding that she is the one with the breast and she is supposed to breastfeed the baby, and tell herself psychologically, emotionally, socially, mentally, and otherwise, I am definitely going to do this because it is the foundation. It is the best foundation you would lay for your child. Breastfeed your baby. Like the UNICEF, in case if you don't know, trend by UNICEF. The UNICEF said we should breastfeed till 2 years of age. That's what they said we should say. So, but if you think it's too much for you, it's your personal decision. Rather, I will still say the right thing. The things they say we should say, I will still say it. But hello, hi, Destiny Media, welcome. Joy Steve, thank you. Jessica Lawson, hello host, I'm here enjoying what you're saying. Thank you, my darling. I'm basically talking about breastfeeding. Annually, globally, is celebrated. Breastfeeding is celebrated from the 1st day of August to the 7th day. I've been procrastinating. I'm going to make a live video over it, and today is the last day. I was like, no, I'm not going to end it without saying it. It is my responsibility to come here and share with you guys, remind us that breastfeeding, as much as we want to protect it, is a shared responsibility. The government have a role to play. The individuals, the mother-in-law, father-in-law, everybody in the home have a responsibility to contribute, have something to contribute towards breastfeeding our babies. Most of the times when you hear breastfeeding, you will simply, I'm not the woman with the breast, so it's the woman with the breast. No. But if you are emotionally stressing the woman, as much as she's the one with the breast, she will not lactate properly. The breast milk production will go and hide. The hormones will go and hide. Yes, circle. Yes, circle. The hormones will go and hide because people around are making the woman to be emotionally down, mentally down. So it is their responsibility. And another thing I have to say, like, for the woman, accept that it is your breast. You have the responsibility. It is on you to breastfeed your baby. And make sure that people around you are supportive. They're supporting you. Your husband is supporting you. Most of the times I tell the men, those things you will buy for the baby, buy it for the woman. Let her enjoy it and be happy and be able to breastfeed your baby properly. And even the teenagers in the house, they have responsibility to support the women. When I have to break it down, I think I've mentioned the government, the teenager, the mother, the father. I have to equally emphasize on health worker. I've actually witnessed a situation whereby a doctor told a woman not to breastfeed her baby. And we asked the question, we went with the team of UNICEF staff. We asked the question, why? He said, because the woman is HIV positive. Hello? If a woman is HIV positive, she can still breastfeed her baby. Why? How? She can breastfeed her baby if prior to conception of the pregnancy, she knew that she's HIV positive and she has been taking her drugs religiously. There is every tendency that she will put to bed, she will deliver a child that is not HIV positive. And in such situation, she is religiously taking her drugs, religiously, and they have a special delivery clinic, and she visited the clinic, delivered there. It was handled appropriately. She applied all the measures that she's supposed to apply. There is every tendency of even breastfeeding her baby without the child having the HIV. So in a situation whereby a woman observes, or you will not encourage her to breastfeed. And why did they come up with this research? They came up with this research because of the notion, they believed before that a woman who is HIV positive should not breastfeed. And you find out that most of them, as much as it's not marked on anybody's face, when they go out as a mother, you see you are carrying a baby of 3 months, 6 months, and the baby is crying. Everybody around you will like, madam, breastfeed her now. Madam, what is all this? Madam, give her breast now. You know, they bring her out, and people like me will even come and make joke with you. I say, madam, bring this thing out and give this baby. So in a situation, you're being cajoled, or people are trying to like make it look like you are not being helpful to the child. Madam, breastfeed your baby. Most of the times they tend to break down. Some of them start crying there or walk away from the vicinity, or whatever brought them there, no matter how important it is, they will walk away. So in order for them to fit among in the society, the research was conducted. Can a breastfeeding, a positive mother, a woman with HIV positive, a HIV carrier, can she breastfeed? And after research with over 100 women, the research came up that there is every 10 days in 10 women with a HIV positive, there is every tendency that if all these measures are applied and respected, that 8 out of those children will be HIV free even after being breastfed. Hence, UNICEF and WHO started preaching that to people, to mothers, to start breastfeeding as long as you apply all those measures. So why am I saying this? In a situation, you are a medical doctor, you are a nurse, you are a nutritionist, or you are this, as long as you do not know, please, I will advise that if a woman asks you question that you do not know, I think this one has nothing to, it's not just applicable to breastfeeding. If you ask a question that is related to health, life, and you they will say I didn't know what I went to school for, and you decide to give fake answer because you just want to maintain your prestige. You don't want to give them the impression that you are a medical doctor, but you don't know what you're doing. That's why I respect the word, the developed words. They have procedure. If you are a nutritionist, when a nutrition question is being asked, you will be channeled to the patient, will be channeled to the nutritionist. If you are a pediatrician, we know your own section. If you are this, everything have its unit and specialist. So if you are a gynecologist, that is your own specialty. If you are a surgeon, whether whatever, fertility clinic and all that, be on your lane. If you ask the question you do not know the answer, please refer the person or call your colleagues. You definitely have phone numbers of people who are specialists in that area. Call the person right before, rather than giving fake news just because you don't want to create impression. Why am I saying this? In a situation we are preaching exclusive breastfeeding, or we are trying to encourage mothers to breastfeed their babies, a woman put to bed in your clinic and she wakes up after a few minutes or hours and she asks you, please, so which milk should I buy for my baby? You know that which is that yellowish milk we call colostrum. There are a lot of vitamins, there are a lot of nutrients that are in that breast milk, and you are denying that child of that first breast milk because you want to advise her, oh yeah, go and buy this, that, and that. You will be recommending milk rather than trying to use your professional background to encourage the mother to start breastfeeding. First, there are two different things. I'm asking you a question because I am ignorant of what I have to do. And I'm asking you, the question I'm asking you, which milk should I give? Why not advise her, counsel her, advocate for breastfeeding? If she decide that, no, so I beg you, call your own, you are just saying your own, I want milk. Be not that person to tell her the milk. Tell her that the best milk you know is the breast milk. If she chooses to give any other milk that you do not know, let her go and source it for yourself. I think if there are restrictions, if there are laws abiding us, health workers, towards the idea of when they walk up to us and ask us, which milk should I give to my baby, I think it will go a long way helping the society. It will go a long way helping people to understand the importance of breastfeeding, even in the importance of exclusive breastfeeding. There's these things that we always encounter, this statement we always encounter, either from mothers, our grandmothers, our mother-in-laws and all that. Even that your husband, even that nurse that is telling you that, ask her when they give birth to her, did she drank water? Why is she now telling you people don't drink water? One question I always ask them is that, ask your mother-in-law or your mother or whoever that is saying that to you. When you give birth to that their husband, that all of them, were you giving them noodles? That's just the simple ones I use. Were you giving them noodles? And the answer would definitely be no. So why are you giving your children noodles today? Why are you, grandma? Why are you eating noodles today? Why are you eating spaghetti? I know when I was born, I remember the first time I heard of noodles was in 2008 in Lagos. In fact, then we used to call it 2 minutes. Okay, back then in the village, there was nothing like noodles. There was nothing like spaghetti. But we were still surviving. So if noodles came now and we accepted them, I don't want to call any brand name before they will come and sue me. If all those things came out now, we accepted them as food, why won't we accept the fact that government said breastfeeding development is the best? Your body contains more than 60% water. I have 3 kids. I will vouch anywhere to tell you that even my son, precisely, I never, my daughters, I think they gave them water, or water formula when I was rushed back to hospital, my second visit to hospital. I think I've shared the story here, because there was retention, so they were being fed by formula, and when I came back I continued with my breastfeeding. But my son never tasted water. My mother-in-law came, thanks to her, she encouraged me. It was even my mother was like, you say, see, hey, no make it get a guy in water cream mini, you will not give. And at the end of the day, she had to accept it. Your breast milk contains over 60% of water, and that's why most people, I don't know, this topic is so cumbersome, so elaborate that we can't just finish it. If you must breastfeed a child, it is not a 2 seconds thing. You cannot just put the baby to the breast milk, before 2 seconds